नमस्कार दोस्तों, मेरा नाम है शालिनी और स्वागत है आप सभी का इस अनोखे किताबी मेले में जिसका नाम है मेरी किताब मेरी कहानी सीजन 5 द मैजिक ऑफ राइटिंग। सो गुड इवनिंग टू ऑल। कैसे हैं आप सभी फ्रेंड्स? आज हो गया है डे 7 और 6 सेशंस हम सक्सेसफुली कंप्लीट कर चुके हैं और 6 अलग अलग तरह के ऑथर्स, उनकी अलग तरह की बुक्स के बारे में हम बातचीत कर चुके हैं और बहुत कुछ लर्निंग्स भी ले चुके हैं। आप सभी के थ्रू बहुत ही बेहतरीन रिस्पांस और कमेंट्स हमारे पास आए हैं, उसके लिए आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। जी स्वर्ण जी, थैंक यू सो मच हमसे जुड़ने के लिए एंड गुड इवनिंग टू यू। सो एक बार प्लीज एम के टाइप करके मुझे कंफर्म कर दीजिए, एम आई ऑडिबल, एम आई विजिबल, क्या आप मुझे देख पा रहे हैं, क्या आप मुझे सुन पा रहे हैं? फ्रेंड्स, आज हम बात करने वाले हैं नेचर के बारे में, प्रकृति के बारे में। प्रकृति और मनुष्य, ये दोनों एक दूसरे के पूरक हैं। मनुष्य प्रकृति के बिना कुछ नहीं है और प्रकृति भी मनुष्य पर डिपेंडेंट है। दोनों एक दूसरे के सहायक हैं। लेकिन ऐसा कहा जाता है कि मनुष्य धीरे धीरे प्रकृति को भूलता जा रहा है अपनी गलतियों की वजह से, या आप कह लीजिए कि टेक्नोलॉजी, साइंस, इन सब के बारे में हम आज बात करते हैं, लेकिन फिर भी असली सुकून मनुष्य को प्रकृति में ही मिलता है। तभी आप देख लीजिए, अगर कहीं थोड़ी बहुत छुट्टियां मिल जाती है या फिर कोई लॉन्ग वीकेंड आ जाता है तो हम फटाफट से तैयारी कर लेते हैं कहीं घूमने जाने की, पहाड़ों में कहीं घूमने जाना है या बीचेस पे कहीं घूमने जाना है। तो इसका मतलब यही है कि इंसान को, मनुष्य को जो सुकून है अपनी भाग दौड़ भरी जिंदगी से थोड़ी देर के लिए जो ब्रेक चाहिए, वो प्रकृति में जाके ही मिलता है। तो फिर क्यों हम प्रकृति को धीरे धीरे भूलते जा रहे हैं? क्यों नहीं हम इसका ख्याल रखते, ध्यान रखते, जबकि हमें पता है कि हमारा जो जीवन है वो इसी पर निर्भर करता है। तो आज हम इसी बारे में चर्चा करने वाले हैं कि किस तरह से मनुष्य, हम ह्यूमन, इस प्रकृति को नुकसान पहुंचा रहे हैं, इसको इसको और भी ज्यादा प्रॉब्लमेटिक बना रहे हैं, और किस तरह से हमें इस प्रॉब्लम से निकलना चाहिए, किस तरह से एनवायरनमेंट को हमें कंजर्व करना चाहिए, इसका संरक्षण करना चाहिए। तो इनके बारे में आज हम बातचीत करने वाले, इसी बिंदुओं को लेकर के आज हम बातचीत करेंगे। सो जो ऑथर आज हमसे जुड़े हैं उनका एक क्विक इंट्रोडक्शन मैं आपको दे देती हूँ ताकि आप उनके साथ इजीली कनेक्ट कर पाए। He is a research economist and is the author of 3 Amazon best-selling books. He is MBA from Asade, Spain. Prior to his MBA, he was engaged as a consultant to the National Productivity Council, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. While balancing the sports career in his life, he also managed his academics and become an NTSC scholar. He is an animal lover, wanderlust, and avid reader also. So without any further delay, मैं इनवाइट करना चाहती हूँ हमारे आज के ऑथर को, जिनका नाम है मिस्टर शैली शौर्य। हेलो, गुड इवनिंग शैली, हाउ आर
Thank you
यू?
so much for having me. I'm good. How are you?
I'm also good, Shelly. And
Can
first of
you?
all, welcome to मेरी किताब मेरी कहानी season 5, and we are looking forward to have a great conversation with you. सबसे पहले आप प्लीज ये बताइए कि how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling very excited. Thank you so much for calling me and giving me this platform to talk about my journey, my books, and all the research I have done. So yes, I'm very excited to be here.
All right. So Shelly, first of all, please tell us something about yourself, about your family, about your passion, your hobbies.
Yes, absolutely. So right now I'm working as a project manager and business strategist. And currently I'm in Nigeria. So, please be very, if my net breaks down in between, because I'm in a remote place in Nigeria right now. So that's what I'm doing. I finished my MBA last year from Spain in Esade. And then I've been working in different countries, Luxembourg, Singapore, and now Nigeria. So it's been a great journey so far. And before all of this, before I started work, I was actually playing cricket. So I played professionally for over 14 years. I played in the IPL, in the Ranji Trophy, before I transitioned into being a consultant. And I have a small family. I have a wife. My parents must be watching this, and my sister and brother-in-law who are from the US have also joined in. So yeah, excited.
Of course. All right. So, Shelly, you are a reader, you are a writer, you are a sports person also. So, how do you manage your time so you can enjoy your life? What is the secret?
I would say that it started right from my like schooling days because I was there were two reasons. Like one was like I was very motivated to do well in education, and then when I started playing cricket, I was motivated to do well there as well. So
Mm-hmm.
trying to balance that automatically like pushed me into managing my time better. And second reason was that because I started playing sports, it made me more disciplined in every aspect of the life. So it's just giving you a context that I was in school. I would go early morning for my cricket trainings, and then before school, and then I would go to school, do all my classes, and then go back home, have lunch, and then leave straight to my practice, cricket practice again. Then I would come back in the evening, late evening, rest for a while, and then do my homework or study for the next day and prepare for the tests or exams that would happen. So I feel like these two aspects of having the motivation to do well in both areas, and specifically because it's not that I started playing cricket thinking that I would eventually play IPL, Ranji, or for India. It just started out as a passion. Uh, so I wanted to do well there, but also do well in education because I always thought that that would be, a good backup to have if the cricket career, if I pursue it, doesn't work out because it's very competitive. So I would say that just trying to manage both. I developed that habit, and then eventually went on to do that in college, and then later on in life. So yeah.
Okay. So, how did you start your writing journey?
So this was, this is very interesting actually because I was working as a consultant, as I mentioned before, for Government of India. So I was designing a project, which I named Bamboonomics. Is the word I have coined. So I was working for them, and then I submitted my research finding, my report, as well as the model I designed to the government. And then I thought that yes, that's my work is done. Then I would move on to my next client. But then it was my dad who suggested me that why you are keeping your work only in the confines of the government. Why don't you put it out in the world so that other people can know about your research, everything that you have done, and then probably get inspired and enter bamboo industry. So that was, I would say, like the idea came from him, and then I thought, why not? And then I started writing. I didn't know that I would be able to actually finish, writing a book. But then I
Okay.
feel that because I had written, like a full-fledged report, uh, I thought that it was easier to convert that into, a book because I already had like a full-fledged report with me. But then again, like report you write in a different context, in a different style.
Mm-hmm.
Converted into a book had its own challenges, but yeah, I was able to convert that, and I'm glad that I was able to write my first book in Bamboonomics.
Right. So, as you said that your father inspired you, motivated you for your writing journey. ऑल राइट सो फ्रेंड्स अब समय आ गया है कि हम मिस्टर शैली शौर्य के किताब के साथी से मिले तो मैं इनवाइट करना चाहूंगी मिस्टर संजय श्रीवास्तव जी को जो कि इनकी किताब के साथी हैं जिन्होंने इनको मोटिवेट किया है थ्रू आउट इस जर्नी में या संजय जी गुड इवनिंग
Good evening, Namaskar, everybody. Motivating Shali is a very big word. He himself is a man who is self-motivated, gets motivated by many things, and a great learner. So, when he was writing the report, I found it's not a typical government report. It is a different report, and it contains the bamboo story in the entire gamut of it. So that was the reason I asked him that to write a book. And I was not a writer. I used to write poems and all that time. And in fact, he inspired me after his book was released that I should also write. And then I wrote a few books after Shelley started writing. So first he made me a co-author, and then I started writing independently. Before that, I was only a poet. So that is the main thing.
संजय जी, वन क्वालिटी, एक ऐसी क्वालिटी जो आपको बहुत आप एडमायर करते हैं मिस्टर शैली की, एक ऐसी क्वालिटी जो आप शेयर करना चाहें।
Shelley is very sincere and very uh, good in innovative thinking. So he treats the path which people don't dare to go. So that is how he has done also his life when he was playing cricket, and he does it with the maximum sincerity and maximum dedication. So I remember the days when his Ranji camps used to be there, and he has to go to the Saint Stephen College and all. So his dedication, he will change his dress in the car and all, rushing back to the classes so that he doesn't miss. And also all these his sincerity and time management that I admire.
Okay. Any message, Mr. Sanjay, you want to convey to Shelley from this platform?
Just go on, keep writing, and keep researching, because you bring those facts which people normally don't realize, like the bamboo. When he said we can do a lot of carbon sequestration by cutting the bamboo. So that was a new, because I am from forest officer. I am a forest officer and IFS officer, and that was new to me. And then he explained, and that then the theory was hit, and he was called by the Germans and the Indian government to represent India in the UN conferences. So that is what I wanted to say. He is innovative, he is inquisitive, and a very good analyzer.
All right. Sanjay ji, thank you so much हमसे जुड़ने के लिए and for your valuable time and words. All the best for your future. Thank you.
Thank you. Namaskar.
Okay. So, Shelly, now we would like to know about your 3 amazing books. So, please let us know about them.
Yeah, of course. So my first book is called Bamboonomics. As I mentioned before, that I converted my research that I've given to the government into the book. So it basically talks about the bamboo industry that was there in India, and then how it eventually declined. Specifically, we were making agarbattis, incense sticks out of bamboo, and then eventually how over the years China started controlling it and took over it completely, which led to its decline, and all the manufacturing units closed down. So I speak about these issues, like what led to it, and then what policies need to be there to revive the industry, what kind of products we need to focus on to revive. Then I speak about different trade routes, because bamboo is uh, majorly grown in northeast, but having said that, it's also grown in the south, in Kerala, in Tamil Nadu, in every part of the country, like Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Jharkhand. So, but I've specifically chosen northeast in the book because to describe the trade routes that were once used initially, or like many years ago, were closed down. So how we can get those trade routes back up, and actually use bamboo via those trade routes to facilitate transportation and everything. So I covered all of that in my first book. In my second book, Green Line, what I realized was that my first book was very like research oriented and very like policy oriented. So I thought I should now talk about the industry and how startups can come up in the industry, what kind of products we need to manufacture, what kind of products can be manufactured which can compete with plastic plastic products. So I speak a lot about that in my second book, which is called Green Line. And then finally, in my third book, which is completely different, it's called the Silk Saga, where I speak about where I've written about the silk industry in India, compared it with the silk industry of China, and how the world politics around silk uh, is played, and then also like what are the benefits of silk outside the traditional clothing and fabrics and everything. So, and yeah, like everything is also related to like how we can improve our own manufacturing, how we can improve the production quality of silk in India. So yes, I've covered these aspects in my third book, which is the Silk Saga.
ब्यूटीफुल। सो फ्रेंड्स, जैसा कि आप देख रहे हैं कि हम बातचीत कर रहे हैं आज शैली शौर्य से, जिनकी 3 बुक्स अमेज़न पर बेस्ट सेलर हो गई है, और इन तीनों बुक्स के बारे में हम आज बात करेंगे। ये तीनों ही बुक्स नेचर पे रिलेटेड है, नेचर से जुड़ी हुई है। अलग-अलग हालाँकि जो इसका मेन टॉपिक नेचर है, बट नेचर की 3 अलग-अलग टॉपिक्स को इन्होंने छेड़ा है, जिसके थ्रू ये बताने की कोशिश की है कि वो किस तरह से नेचर को संरक्षित कर सकते हैं, किस तरह से हम उसको वेस्ट करते हैं, उसको कंज़र्व कर सकते हैं, और जो प्रोडक्टिविटी है उसको बढ़ा सकते हैं। इससे रिलेटेड अगर आपके मन में कोई क्वेश्चन है, कोई क्वेरी है, या आपका कोई पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है, तो प्लीज़ आप कमेंट सेक्शन को यूज़ कीजिए, वहाँ पर कमेंट कर सकते हैं और अपने क्वेश्चंस आप हमारे साथ पूछ सकते हैं। मिस्टर शैली उसका ज़रूर आपको आंसर देंगे। So, Shelly, how is your experience representing the Indian government at 2 United Nations conference and talking about your model Bamboonomics? Please share about this.
It was a great experience. This was something I never expected, because I completed my project and then I thought that now this will be done. I've submitted my business model to the government, and that's it. I didn't know what will happen next. But then I got a call, and they told me that they want to launch the business model at United Nations conference, and invited me to be a keynote speaker to explain the model. So it was great experience talking to delegates from different countries, learning about their countries, what is happening there, what kind of issues they are facing in terms of climate change, and then discussing my model and trying to make them understand that how bamboo can actually help, not just in giving employment to the tribal and rural community, which was the basis of it, but also at the same time generate an avenue for the government that we can mitigate climate change through capturing, sequestering carbon from the air. So I spoke about it at 2 different United Nations conference. One was UNCCD COP14, and then it was UNFCCC, which is primarily for climate change, at COP25 that was held in Madrid, Spain. And yeah, it was great to share my model, and the major uh, result was that it was getting accepted by different countries. I got invitation from different countries from Africa, to actually come here and then use that model in their own country as well. So I think that was a great result of the work.
Okay. Mr. Shelley, we have a question for you. Smita Netra wants to ask, uh, could you discuss the role of government policies and international collaboration in fostering a conducive environment for bamboo-based economic development? Please answer.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for the question. I would say that yes, like government plays a major role in bamboo industry, because especially like I've talked about in the Indian context, that 97 close to 97% of the bamboo stock that we have in India is under forest land, and forest land comes under forest department. So automatically you cannot enter and cut those bamboos and utilize them. So you have to
Okay.
take permission from the government, take permission from the forest department, which is a long drawn process. So this is where the government comes into picture, that they need to bring up certain policies that make it easy or easier for the corporate world to utilize that bamboo stock, and hence those kind of policies needs to come up. There have been changes that is happening, like in terms like initially bamboo, I mean bamboo taxonomically is a grass, everyone knows that, but under Indian Forest Act it was regarded as a tree. So anyway you cannot cut tree in India. So they changed it into 2017, and they again made it on paper that yes, bamboo is a grass, but still you cannot cut it if it's on a forest land, because it comes under forest department. So these are and that has not been changed. So this is where we need that collaboration of the government, and they need to facilitate this, for startups to come up. And then we need a lot of R&D. Like China is way ahead in terms of the kind of manufacturing they're doing, the kind of products they are making out of bamboo, and we are the second largest bamboo stock we have in the world. So we need to sort of learn from them, and
Mm-hmm.
then do R&D and know how to use our bamboo species and create products. And there are a lot of products that can be created which can replace plastic. So yeah, so I mean, we
Mm-hmm.
need government collaboration.
दैट्स इंटरेस्टिंग शैली जैसे कि अभी आप चाइना के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं सो माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज अराउंड दिस चाइना यू हैव रिटन इन योर बुक अबाउट हाउ डिड चाइना कैप्चर द इंडियन बैम्बू इंडस्ट्री सो कुड यू प्लीज इलैबोरेट दिस स्टेटमेंट
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, it was like a long drawn process by them. So, they initially wanted to do something in conjunction, in collaboration with India. So, there were several seminars held in Assam in the 2000s, wherein they wanted to like see how we are making these raw sticks for agarbatti, and then what we are doing with bamboo in general. And they sort of had this understanding that they'll collaborate in terms of R&D, in terms of new technology that we can use. And then eventually what happened was that they started manufacturing their own agarbatti using their bamboo, and slowly they've flooded the market with it. And the reason why that happened is because they could sell their sticks at cheaper rate. Like in India at that time, if Indian manufacturers were selling it at 100 rupees, they could sell it at 80 rupees, which further reduced to 50 rupees.
ओके
Uh, so that happened, and the major reason behind this, which no one had thought about this until I researched and actually spoke to the manufacturing units, the manufacturers there, like, and I went and saw the process how it's made. I realized that when you are converting bamboo into those sticks, 88% is getting wasted, and that 88% which is getting wasted is automatically added to the cost. That's why Indian agarbatti had higher cost than China, because in China they're using almost 100% of the bamboo in creating different products. So that's
ओके
what the suggestion I gave in my model, that utilize that 88% wastage to create other byproducts like charcoal, activated charcoal, and then we can revive the industry. Not just in agarbatti, but we can create other products which has a great market now, and then generate employment. So this is how China captured, and now like everything basically comes from China in terms of agarbatti, and you know any other product that you see which is bamboo made comes from China. Apart from certain like craftsmanship and that happens in India. And I would want to point out that Mutha Industries is doing a great job in Northeast. They are making furnitures out of bamboo, and they're using Indian bamboo. So I would say like they are one of the pioneers, and they recently made furniture even for the new parliament that has come up. So I had highlighted their work in my first book, Bamboonomics, and now like I could see how they are expanding, which is great to know. So we need to come up with these kind of products in our country.
Shelly, we have another question related to this topic, and Amisha Kanoria is asking, can you suggest what products can be made with bamboos apart from flutes without destroying nature?
Yeah, thank you so much for your question. So, as I mentioned, like, one thing is that activated charcoal and charcoal. So, activated bamboo charcoal, you must be seeing now in face mask, in face wash, various cosmetic products. Also, in people now have started taking it as a medicine to basically clear, your stomach. So that is one set, I would say. The second set, which I'm very much interested in, is fabric. Like you can create, clothes out of bamboo fiber. Obviously, you cannot use bamboo fiber in its totality because it's very soft. It's So you need to like mix it with other textile like silk or cotton or something else to give it some strength. But it has great benefits. So I would say bamboo fiber is another, and then furnitures. Like right now, right now we are importing timber worth 45,000 crore, which is, I mean, this is a 3-year, 4-year old data. So probably the number must have increased. But just imagine if you're importing 45,000 crore worth of timber, uh, we can replace, that with creating products, creating furnitures out of bamboo. So how much, we will arrest the cutting of trees. So that is another thing that we can venture into. Then apart from flutes, I would say that archery, like you can create bow and arrow out of bamboo, which can really help to like sort of promote this sport in
Right.
like in tier 2, tier 3 cities, because
Right.
you
Right.
know that like Indian archers are really good, they're doing very well at the national, international level. But to get that talent going, we need to support tier 2, tier 3 cities, and it's very expensive if you buy like the international standards. So we can use bamboo to create those products, and then help them at least start with learning the technique and everything, and then before they can move on to more expensive products. I would say there are like plethora of uses of bamboo. uh, Main thing is we need to sort of like get that investment, and also that policy support from the government in order to venture into these areas.
ओके सो मनी अमीशा, आई थिंक आपको अपने क्वेश्चंस का आंसर मिल गया है कि फ्लूइड के साथ साथ बहुत सारे प्रोडक्ट्स हैं जिनको आप बैम्बू के थ्रू बना सकते हैं, यूज कर सकते हैं, और बैम्बू प्लांट का कंप्लीट 100% यूज कर सकते हैं, जो कि वेस्ट हो रहा है अभी, लेकिन उसको हम 100% किस तरह यूज कर सकते हैं, किस किस तरह की चीजें बना सकते हैं, कॉस्मेटिक की या अदर मेडिसिन से रिलेटेड, उन सब के बारे में शैली ने अभी अभी बताया. सो फ्रेंड्स, आई थिंक आपका क्या कहना है इसके बारे में कि बैम्बू के थ्रू जो अदर प्रोडक्ट्स बनाए जाते हैं, ये यूज होने चाहिए, या फिर किस तरह से आप इसको यूज कर सकते हैं, या आपने अगर इससे रिलेटेड किसी प्रोडक्ट को यूज किया है तो आपका एक्सपीरियंस कैसा रहा? आप प्लीज चैट बॉक्स के थ्रू हमारे साथ शेयर कीजिए और अपना एक्सपीरियंस हमें बताइए. इसके साथ में बैम्बू जो प्लांट है वो अपने आप में बहुत ही खूबसूरत, बहुत ही बेहतरीन प्लांट है. एक सजावट के सामान के रूप में हम उसको यूज करते हैं. ये बहुत ही लकी प्लांट भी माना जाता है. शैली, आई थिंक दिस इज अ लकी प्लांट ऑल्सो. वी कैन पुट इन आवर ऑफिस, इन आवर होम, राइट?
Yes, absolutely, yes.
सो ये भी एक धारणा है इसके पीछे. ये अपने आप में एक कंप्लीटली ए प्योरीफायर प्लांट भी है. बहुत ही लेस इसको केयर की जरूरत है, लेकिन इतनी लेस केयर के बदले में आपको ये इतने सारे बेनिफिट्स देता है, जिसके बारे में आज हम शैली से बात कर रहे हैं. तो फ्रेंड्स, अगर आपका भी कोई पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है, या आपने भी अपने घर में बैम्बू प्लांट लगाया है, एक छोटा सा प्लांट लगा रखा है, तो उसका क्या एक्सपीरियंस रहा आपके साथ, वो हमारे साथ प्लीज शेयर कीजिएगा. So, Shelly, moving ahead, what are the benefits of bamboo and how can bamboo help in climate change?
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, like apart from like the products that we can make out of bamboo, the major discovery I would say that happened while I was working was that how bamboo can be used to mitigate climate change. And there are two major reasons I would say, like how we can use it. One is that when you cut bamboo to make products, you can cut it in a certain way that it can grow from the rhizomes. So you don't have to
Okay.
like plant bamboo again. It grows from the same rhizome. So in that process, and bamboo grows in 4 to 6 years to its maximum length. So it grows very fast. So in that time period, it sequesters, it captures carbon from the air faster than what a tree does in the same time period.
Okay.
So one thing is that bamboo can be used to sequester, capture carbon from the air. Second thing is that when we are using different products, we can convert bamboo into charcoal, as I mentioned before, and we can use uh, that charcoal to put into soil, especially not just like agricultural soil. Yes, that would improve the soil health, but also in degraded or deserted lands, the wastelands, to improve the soil health there, which can be then further used into agriculture growth later on in life. So right now, like India is one of the signatories of Bond Target. Bond Target is again, a lot, different countries have come together and they have pledged that they would want to, uh, you know, convert wastelands or degraded lands into usable lands by 2030, and every country has given its own targets. So right now what is happening is most of the countries, including India, is planting trees in degraded lands to recover the soil and improve those lands. But bamboo can be used into that, because when you grow a tree in such soil, in such degraded lands, they will utilize whatever remaining nutrients the land or the soil has,
Okay.
and then the soil quality will go down further. But when you are using bamboo and when you're using charcoal and putting it in the soil, it improves the soil health. It gives soil the ability to capture nitrogen from the air, absorb nitrogen from the air, and improves the soil health. So I would say these are the two major areas that bamboo can be used to help in climate change mitigation. And these are like, like world over countries are working on it. One is carbon sequestration and the other is improving degraded or wastelands. So I would say bamboo would be like a major player, in this aspect. And I'm hoping that, in one of these COPs, they actually discuss this properly, which I have been, propagating for a very long time, that they use, bamboo and start using bamboo to help in climate change mitigation.
Absolutely, Shani. Yeah. Okay, so now I talk about your second book. After bamboo, you have written about silk. What is the use of silk?
So, silk, I mean, as we traditionally know that silk is used in fabrics, in saris, in clothes, which I'm not gonna speak about. But silk has a lot of other uses, which is right now in like R&D testing more, which is why we should invest more to
Okay.
actually make it like like for the masses. Like since silk is a protein, it can be used in wound healing, and it can also be used to repair certain aspects of your damaged eye. And there have been like clinical research and tests done it, and it works. The thing is now next step, which is to make it affordable, make it cheaper, and make it widespread. The other aspect of silk is to make bulletproof vest. That is also one of the aspects that can be used as silk. So silk also, apart from just making fabrics, has a variety of uses. It's just that we have to sort of put in our head to make it, like a mass product, so that masses can get benefit from it, apart from just the fabrics.
All right. Shelley, your all three books are related to nature, connected to nature. So, what inspired your love towards nature?
So, I mean, my father was an IFS officer. Um, he was in the Indian Forest Services in Government of India. So I think that was one of the reasons, I would say, that it just happened organically. And then even my grandfather, my nana, was an IFS officer too. So I think it
Okay,
just probably runs in the family that I was naturally inclined towards nature and
obviously.
biodiversity.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So, this is the reason. Okay. So,
Yes.
can you share with us any your memory with nature, your childhood memory?
I would say like I have many memories. I'll share two of them. One was that when I saw tiger for the first time,
Okay.
in yeah. So that was a great experience. The tiger, like out of nowhere, just came onto like in front of our car and was just walking, on the foot, like on the track for like almost 10
Mhm.
minutes, not caring about us or the car, just walking like he's the king of the jungle. And I could just
Right.
feel it there.
Mhm.
Got some really great pictures. Was doing everything from releasing pheromones to mark its territory to scratching on the tree. So got the entire display of tiger's characteristics that day. And second would be that I had recently gone for a trek in the African rainforest here in Nigeria. I had never been into like such a dense forest before, so that was another great experience. We saw, I clicked pictures of one species of snake, which we
Mhm.
figured out that is a highly poisonous snake.
Okay.
But thankfully, nothing happened. Like, it was a bit far, and probably it could be a new subspecies. So we are still trying to figure out, which species belong to. It could even be a new subspecies. So yeah, I would say like these two experiences really stand out for me.
Wonderful. Okay, so Shelly, what kind of contribution can we do for environmental conservation? What are your suggestions?
I would say like as consumers, there are various things we can do. One would be that, which is like the easy or like the maximum impact that we can see in short term is choosing the kind of clothes we buy. I believe that if you are buying synthetic clothes, which now is very much prevalent in the market, what happens is, even if they say that it's coming from recycled plastic, firstly, like only 9% of the plastics in the entire world is recycled. So that tag of it's coming from recycled plastic is also need to be like seen what it's done.
Mhm.
But yeah, so coming back to the point that we need to be very mindful about the kind of clothes we buy. So I would suggest that we should buy everything which is like plant based or nature based fabrics like cotton, silk, bamboo, linen. So one is that. Second would be that we can do like these small changes in our life. Like one would be that, I mean, I'm using bamboo toothbrush instead of plastic toothbrush, because the normal toothbrush we use is plastic, and millions and billions of toothbrush is thrown into landfills every year. So you can imagine the kind of plastic like we are dumping in landfills every year. So even if you like replace that, it's a small step, but like it will ripple into something really big. And then third would be that as Indians we have been more, I would say, like sustainable in our activities than I have seen like people from different countries. It's how
Mhm.
we have been brought up. Our generations have been like that. So like going into the market, taking a cloth bag instead of using the plastics that are given in the, and anyway like in India single used plastics have been banned, but still it's being used. So these are the small things we can do, which will have a ripple effect. But I would say like the major thing that we can do is the choice of clothes, because buying synthetic clothes not only like lead to you just utilizing you know like like you're just using plastics, but the detrimental effect is that every time you wash your synthetic clothes, microplastics get released into the water bodies, which then comes back into our systems.
Okay.
So that is very bad. Like it's harmful for the environment, harmful for us as well. So I
Hmm.
would say, and even if like we use our clothes like cotton or bamboo or linen, and we like after it's done, we throw it in landfill, it will get degraded. But these synthetic clothes won't get degraded. So I would say like
Mhm.
that would be the major step that we can take as a consumer.
Absolutely. Shelley, we ran a campaign around this topic based on this question, and we received so many comments, so many tiny solutions around environment. So I would like to call their name and comments. So we got first comment from Amisha Kanoria, and जिन्होंने हमें अभी भी join किया हुआ है. So Amisha, I'm telling your name also and announcing your comment. And she is saying we can save the environment by banning plastic bags altogether. Carry your own cloth bag with you while you go shopping. So thank you so much for your comment, Amisha. एज शैली ने भी ये बताया कि आप प्लास्टिक बैग की जगह अपना खुद का क्लोथ बैग ले जा सकते हैं शॉपिंग के लिए या बाहर आप जा रहे हैं तो ये एक छोटा सा स्टेप है एनवायरनमेंट के लिए. सेकेंड कमेंट हमारे पास आया है हृदय का एंड ही सेइंग environment this word tell us about how our mindset can be so that our environment is good. Yes, environment and mindset we should change. So author Sanjay, he's saying we should safeguard ourselves from the use of plastics. We all are having microplastics in our systems. We must stop using plastics and we can being by discarding PET bottles. Neeta Srivastav, she is saying we must not pollute the environment and plant trees. We should use bamboo bottles instead of plastic bottles. एक और बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग मैसेज है हमारे पास जो मैं आप सबके साथ शेयर करना चाहूंगी। नीवा दत्ता जिन्होंने लिखा है, एक्चुअली ये शायद टीचर है और इन्होंने अपने स्कूल ट्यूशन के कुछ बच्चों से इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर दिया, तो वो इन्होंने हमारे साथ शेयर किया है। दिस इज रियली इंटरेस्टिंग। ये लिख रही हैं, मेरे ट्यूशन में बच्चों के विचार इस तरह के हैं, कुछ आपके पास भेज रही हूँ। पर्यावरण संरक्षण के लिए सबसे पहले तो हमारे आसपास के लोगों को समझाने की कोशिश करें, क्योंकि लोगों को ये जानकारी ही नहीं कि आज उठाया गया कदम आने वाले समय में कितना कुछ मिटा सकता है और कितना कुछ दे सकता है। सबसे पहले जमीन की सुरक्षा करें जिससे खाने की व्यवस्था हो सके। दिनों दिन बिगड़ती हालत ने हमें सोचने पर मजबूर कर दिया है। सरकारी अधिकारियों की भूमिका अहम है, लेकिन कोई ध्यान नहीं देता और मात्र कागजी कार्रवाई पर ही सब चीजें चली जाती है। थैंक यू सो मच नीवा दत्ता आपके कमेंट के लिए। एक और कमेंट हमारे पास आया है कनिका, एंड शी इज सेइंग eating at beach should be totally avoided so that beaches are clean and water is also clean. थैंक यू सो मच फ्रेंड्स, आपने बहुत सारे कमेंट्स हमें किए और अपना पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू हमारे साथ शेयर किया, और इस मुहिम को चलाने का हमारा यही एक मोटिव था कि आपके ओपिनियन हमारे पास आने चाहिए कि आप क्या सोचते हैं इस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक को लेकर के। सो थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू वंस अगेन। So now Shelly, moving forward, what do you consider to be writing books? Writing books leaves an impact on the society.
Definitely, like, every genre of book leaves an impact on people's mind differently. Some like to read autobiographies that has a very different impact on the reader. Like, it motivates people, knowing that they have, like, these famous people have been through struggles in life, and with hard work they managed to reach where they are. Then, like, fiction book has a different impact on people, where they, like, go into realm of that book. That's, it takes you to a different universe, so that's another thing. And then non-fiction books, which I write, gives a different aspect, impacts people differently, where you get to learn about what is happening in different industries, which you wouldn't have known otherwise, and what can you do as a consumer. So I would say, like, different books, different type of books have different impact on the reader's mind, and I feel like that's what books do. And it's great, like, like, to keep on reading books on different genres, to have that knowledge, have that information, and learn from different people.
Right. So Shelly, now we have reached to our another segment, and this is called My Journey Secrets. So now I'm going to ask some questions very quickly, and you need to answer very quickly. So are you ready for this segment?
Yes.
So my first question is for you. How do you define yourself in one word?
Perseverance.
Okay. The toughest period of your writing journey?
It's the once the manuscript is ready and you have to go through it to correct the grammar error and remove the jinx and
Editing
everything.
area.
That's editing area is the most difficult part.
Okay. One value that added in your life after becoming an author?
That realization that I can be an author. I never thought I would be an author. So
Okay, that's nice. All right. What is the real happiness for you?
I would say peace of mind.
Okay. Last question. Your dream project? It must be big, I think so. Yeah.
Yes, it's related to Bamboonomics, but wherein I see a world where Bamboonomics is almost in every country, and we are using a lot of products made out of bamboo. That's my dream.
Yeah. We have one question for you. So उससे पहले एक क्वेश्चन हमारे पास है आपके लिए शैली in audience. So Samiksha Sharma, she is asking, have you has any support from government to take some of these ideas forward?
I would like now there have been like different investment opportunities which come from the government if you want to start your own venture. So that is one support that you can get, and I've been seeing like a lot of startups approach me for different consultancy projects to guide them into like how they should enter the bamboo industry. So now the support has been coming up. uh, Personally, I try to venture into bamboo industry, like manufacturing clothes and toothbrushes as well, which I did for a year, and then I had to close it down because I was moving to Spain for my MBA. But yeah, like definitely, like now I would say like there has been progress from the government side where the support is definitely there, but it can be better. Like it's still it's moving slow, so I would still say that it needs to be better.
Right, right. Shelley, what sort of advice do you wish to share to our budding authors to write this kind of books?
I would say like pick a topic, and then like don't go into depth of all the areas that you will cover. Like for example, that I chose to write about the production capacity and the quality of silk in India. But then while I was writing, I figured that I should also like I figured that what the geopolitics is happening in the industry. So I covered that aspect. So once you write, and then I covered like how China is doing, like what competition is doing. Then I covered what are the other uses of silk. Then also wrote about the silk route and its history. So pick a topic and start writing it. The more in depth you start going, you'll automatically start branching out, and you will start evolving, and you will get more and more ideas and more information that okay, I can include this also in the book. So don't think of just I'm gonna start writing a 300-page book. Start small, and once you go in depth, you will realize that there are things being added, and automatically your book will be developed.
Yeah. Shelley, any contact detail you want to share with us if anyone wants to connect with you?
Yes, definitely. Like I think they can see it on the screen. They can contact me on email or on Instagram, and I'm happy to share and talk to them.
श्योर सो फ्रेंड्स, अगर आप शैली शौर्य के साथ कनेक्ट होना चाहते हैं और इनसे बातचीत करना चाहते हैं तो इनकी कॉन्टैक्ट डिटेल्स हमने आपके साथ शेयर की है। आप स्क्रीन पर से उसको नोट कर लीजिए और आप इनसे पर्सनली मिल सकते हैं, बात कर सकते हैं, गाइडेंस ले सकते हैं। अगर आप इनकी बुक परचेज करना चाहते हैं तो इसको परचेज करने का अमेजोन लिंक हमने आपके साथ शेयर किया है चैट बॉक्स में। वहां जाके आप इनकी बुक भी परचेज कर सकते हैं और अपने रिव्यूज लिखना बिल्कुल मत भूलिएगा। शैनी, बिफोर यू लीव, एनी लास्ट मैसेज फॉर आवर ऑडियंस, फॉर आवर लिसनर्स?
I would say like the major learning I've had in my life is just show up and do it with your heart. So like just tackle anything that comes in your way, and put in all your efforts, put in all your heart. That would like be it. You will eventually like succeed, and be it writing, be it work, be it sports, be it any walk of life. I think you just have to show up and do it with your heart.
Thank you so much, Shelley, for this wonderful conversation, and we are looking forward to talk to you again in future and your future book plans, and all the best for your future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here. It was great talking to you, interacting with the viewers. Thank you so much for calling me.
Thank you. सो फ्रेंड्स, आज हमने कंप्लीट किया डे 7 और आज के हमारे ऑथर थे शैली शौर्य, जिनके साथ हमने नेचर के बारे में, एनवायरनमेंट के बारे में बातचीत की और इनकी 3 अमेजिंग बुक्स अलग अलग टॉपिक पर बेस्ड है, लेकिन सच में बहुत ही बेहतरीन काम कर रही है। रीडर्स का, व्यूअर्स का बहुत ही बेहतरीन रिस्पांस मिल रहा है इन बुक्स के लिए। सो मैं आपको रेकमेंड करती हूँ कि आप चैट बॉक्स के थ्रू जो हमने आपके साथ लिंक शेयर किया है, आप वहां जाकर के इस बुक को परचेज कीजिए, अपना रिस्पांस दीजिए, अपने रिव्यूज लिखिए। और सच में ये लॉजिकल साइंटिफिक तथ्यों पर आधारित ये बुक है, जिस पर आपको पता चलेगा कि किस तरह से आप इन अलग अलग टॉपिक्स के थ्रू, अलग अलग जो बैम्बू, सिल्क, इनके बारे में इन्होंने बात की है, वो कितना जरूरी है नेचर के लिए, और इसके बारे में आप और भी ज्यादा जान सकेंगे। तो यहीं पर फिनिश होता है हमारा आज का प्रोग्राम, आज का सेशन। आई होप आपको आज की वीडियो बहुत पसंद आई होगी, आज की हमारी बातचीत पसंद आई होगी। और अगर आपको पसंद आई है तो प्लीज इसको लाइक करना बिल्कुल मत भूलिएगा। सुपर पावर ऑथर यूट्यूब चैनल को अगर आपने सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो प्लीज इसको सब्सक्राइब भी कर लीजिए। आगे आने वाले जितने भी ऑथर्स अभी हैं हमारे साथ, उनके आने की जो नोटिफिकेशन है वो भी आपके पास पहुंच जाएगी। इसके लिए आप बेल आइकन जरूर प्रेस कीजिए और ज्यादा से ज्यादा इन वीडियोस को शेयर करने की कोशिश कीजिए। आपके कमेंट्स के लिए, आपके रिस्पांस के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। कल हम बातचीत करेंगे एक नए टॉपिक के बारे में, एक नई बुक के बारे में। और कल का जो टॉपिक है वो होगा लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन। कल हम बात करेंगे लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन के बारे में, ये कैसे आपकी लाइफ में काम करता है और क्यों बहुत से लोगों की लाइफ में काम नहीं करता है, इसके बारे में हम बातचीत करेंगे हमारे कल की ऑथर के साथ। सो तब तक के लिए कीप रीडिंग एंड कीप स्माइलिंग। थैंक यू सो मच।